Heineken just announced plans to lay off 7% of their global workforce. Guys, that's 6,000 plus people. But why is this happening? Some say that it's because of lackluster earnings and beer demand falling. I don't know about you guys, but I still see a lot of people drinking beer. However, with Heineken, their beer volumes have declined 2.4% over the past year. But their operating profit is up 4.4%, and their stock valuation is up 7% this year. But get this, Heineken is not the only company in alcohol, tobacco, and firearms that is following the AI layoff playbook. And we'll get to company number 2 in just a moment. Guys, the real story here is not that beer is declining and people aren't drinking beer. It's that AI is impacting the way that companies are building out their organizations. But don't just take my word for it. Listen to what their CEO, Dolf van den Brink, says. He says, quote, "Productivity has been a top priority in our evergreen strategy. We committed to 400 to 500 million euros of savings on an annual basis. And this is a first organization, anyway, the organizing of that debt commitment, partly also due to AI, or let's say digitization." He just said the quiet part out loud. This is the first of that debt commitment, partly due to AI. But, if you've been subscribed to the channel, if you've been subscribed to my newsletter, this should not be a surprise to you at all. This has been a consistent story over the past several months. Cut humans, free up capital for AI efficiency and investment. But guess what? It's not all bad news. We'll cover that in just a moment. But the reality is that we're seeing this time and time again and again. Everyone that's subscribed to the channel and commenting in the comments, you guys know what's up. Guys like John, Henry, Marcin, all you guys know what is up. You guys know what's happening. But get this, the CEO continues here. He says, quote, "That's a very big part of our Evergreen 2030 strategy. With around 3,000 roles moving to our business services, where technology digitization in general and AI specifically will be an important part of ongoing productivity savings." This is the deal. And you know what? It just drives me nuts when people try to say that AI is smoke and mirrors and it doesn't work and companies aren't really using it. Guys, just look at the board, look at the map. Everyone is implementing AI into their organizations, period. You can't say it's not happening. It just blows me away. I really enjoy the All In podcast, and when David Sachs goes in there and says, it's not impacting jobs and whatnot, I'm like, dude, what are you talking about, man? It's so obvious. Anyway, I digress. Because here's the deal, guys. Heineken isn't the only company slashing employees for AI. I alluded to this earlier. British American Tobacco also announced the same initiative, an AI-driven productivity program that will lead to job cuts. But don't take my word for it, guys. Their finance chief, Javed Iqbal, said they plan to automate using data analytics and AI tools. He says, quote, "It will have an impact on the size of the organization." Now, we don't know the exact number that's going to be laid off, but they have said that they're implementing AI, they're implementing productivity tools, and it will impact their employee base. Now, before you say that AI is just a smokescreen for a declining business, which I know a lot of you guys say, and I think that there is some smoke to that, but before you say that it's just a smokescreen for a declining business, British American Tobacco is not exactly floundering, guys. Their Velo product is absolutely crushing it. Their stock surged 46% last year. So while Heineken sales may be down a little bit, their profit is up. And while BAT's just skyrocketing, they're saying we're going to implement more AI, we're going to offload people. Guys, the reality that we all need to face right now is companies are laying off staff to free up capital so they can spend it on AI. We covered this a little while ago, a few days ago. I'll post a link to this video here. Oracle is rumored to be going through the same type of system. The banks stopped lending. They're not sure they're going to get their return on investment with AI. And so they said, well, maybe we're going to hold off. You're already a little bit over leveraged. And so what does Oracle say? Well, maybe we'll just lay off thousands and tens of thousands of people to free up that capital. So guys, we're seeing it time and time again. And last year, we covered last year. Last year, 55,000 people were laid off specifically related to AI. They were laid off with companies saying it's because of AI. And I don't see any reason why that trend would stop. This is the worst AI is ever going to be. And if you're watching this channel, you'll probably already be aware we have AI agent tools just popping up everywhere. Every company wants to be the first to automate their entire backend. This is something that we're looking at some of the organizations that I work at. It's a little bit scary though at first because there are privacy, there are security concerns. You don't want some AI chatbot releasing information broadly. You really need to understand how to use these tools. So I'm kind of examining that with some of the organizations I work with. But regardless, AI is happening. And anytime you see a company say they're laying off people for operational efficiency, productivity, that is code word for we are implementing AI. It's just staggering to me how many people just refuse to look at that. Why is that? Why do people it's like they decide that it can't be AI when it so clearly is. Now, anyway, I don't want to doom and gloom you because there is good news here. A lot of times what we're seeing, and we saw this with Klarna, might be seeing this with Salesforce, we'll see, is that what happens is companies will go through a mass layoff to improve their productivity. And then they realize, well, we fired too many humans. The AI is giving us quality control issues, or it's not as accurate as we'd like. Maybe the technology just is overpromised and underdelivered. I think there's a lot of that going on now. As a marketer, we're always overpromising and underdelivering. That's just the way it goes. In any event, what happens is these companies, when they overfire, they realize, oops, crap, now we need to rehire back. So don't burn those bridges yet. Don't go flicking off Karen in HR if you get fired. Just keep your cool, you might get hired back. Now, it's also worth noting that not every company is hiring you back as a W-2. They may have hired you as a W-2, but they might have fired you when you were W-2, but they might hire you back as a 1099 contractor. And there's pros and cons there. The benefits for the company is, well, they don't need to pay you all the same benefits, health insurance. There's not the same severance rules as if you were a 1099 employee. The flip side is a 1099 is, well, now you get to write off miscellaneous expenses. For me, I work from home. I can write off a percentage of my housing costs, electricity. I can use my business expense, cell phone bills, sometimes trips and food and all sorts of different things because they are related to operating my business. You got to know how to expense things properly, and certainly you want an accountant. I work closely with my accountant to make sure it happens. Regardless, these are some trends that I think are really important to highlight, guys, as we go into 2026, because understanding how to operate and move within this new world is going to be really important, especially when we see companies firing. I mean, we covered this a few days ago. I'll post a link to this video here. January hit a 17-year high for layoffs. A lot of that was attributed to UPS and Amazon doing big layoffs, but we're seeing it time and time again, day after day. The other thing to keep in mind is even though the larger companies are laying people off, smaller companies are responsible for the majority of the hiring that's happening right now. And listen, where I'm coming from is you learn how to execute, you learn how large companies and large enterprises operate at a very high level. You try to learn from the people that have been there before or are higher up on the food chain, then you understand what's happening at a high level, and then you can carry those skills to smaller organizations. It's a good way to kind of turn lemons into lemonade. It's also worth noting if you're going to working for a smaller organization, there's a good chance you're gonna have more leverage. You can be more of a linchpin to that organizational structure. You're more important to a 30-person organization than you are to a 3,000-person organization. That's the reality. And if you can be responsible for implementing high level, of course, if you're using AI, that's a big plus, and you're able to grow the organization, improve profits, and grow revenues, et cetera, you can be your own profit center, well, then maybe you can have some equity stake. Maybe you can leverage those wins for your next position. Regardless, guys, I would encourage you to stay positive. I know that there's a lot of crazy stuff happening right now, and it's certainly not all good news. When we look at Heineken and British American Tobacco, big firings, not gonna stop. AI and automation are going to continue. This is the year for AI and automation, but please believe along the way, there's gonna be a lot of companies making a lot of mistakes. And if you know how to help fix those problems, you are going to be valuable. All right, boys, make it a great day. It's great to see you. If you like today's video, definitely check out yesterday's video where we cover Elon's master plan. He's doing all these different things with all these different companies, but is there a greater plan in store? And what does that mean for you and your careers? Watch yesterday's video, check it out. I'll see you there, boys. Peace.